So I've been struggling with some elbow pain, and it hurts. Sometimes it hurts down here, sometimes it hurts right here. It's typically when I am pressing or pushing, and it's actually catching the motion, coming to this bent motion, where I feel it the most, and it's just like a shooting pain that goes through my elbow. And sometimes it's, again, like closer down towards my wrist and forearm area, and sometimes it's a little higher, but it does fluctuate.
When I'm talking to people about elbow pain, especially when it's related to compound movement patterns, we're talking about like pull-ups or pressing or horizontal pressing, vertical pressing, whatever. Generally, the issue is going to be more with the shoulder, right? So we're going to look at the shoulder, we're going to look at what it can and can't do. And we're not going to get real deep into her specific issue, but we're going to talk about external rotation and where that might be stuck. So what we see is if I push her more into external rotation, we see more back arching. So what that tells us that we have a lot of recruitment in her lats. We probably have a little bit of, not a little bit, we have a lot of restriction in her internal rotation. So what I would do with her is I would start with creating space, is what I call it, but creating space for that joint to move more freely so that she doesn't have a lot of compensation here at her elbow. So anytime you see elbow and compound pain and compound movement patterns, you're almost guaranteed to see a limitation in your shoulder joint movement in one of them, which also leads back to probably some sort of weakness that is just not balanced within the shoulder joint as a whole. One muscle is doing way more work than another one. So that is what we would do with her. We would go through, find the specific movement patterns that are limited, free them up, and then find the specific muscles that are weaker and work on those. And then we would work on the compound pattern as a whole and see if we can get that to start working in the way that we want it to, which I call recruitment pattern work. And grab that like this. This is, I would do this. I would have her just do this, but because we're here, I'm just gonna like kind of aggressively roll this here, kind of lower the tension in those muscles here. And then we're gonna take a band, and you can let go. And then I'm gonna have her pin her elbow to her side, and you're gonna face her. And then you'll go ahead and grab this, grab it underhand or overhand like this. Keep your elbow pinned, and then she's gonna rotate out. Right, like just like that. So she's going to, we're creating some relaxation here and strength here to reestablish the support of that elbow joint. This is just to kind of specifically address that joint issue, but then we're gonna do something here for her shoulder next. External rotation, so I'm gonna have her apply pressure into the front of that shoulder, and then I'm gonna have her rotate back as far as she can. And then find another spot, rotate back as far as she can, and we'll just do that for a little bit of time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Just the front of my delt?
Yeah, hold it at 90 and then externally rotate that.
Oh, that's about it. And hello.
And when you come down, come all the way down.
Oh, okay.
So you're full flex, find a spot, apply pressure, and then externally rotate.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah, there you go. And you can move that around to wherever it needs to go too. Here we're going to work on opposition, right? So we're going to work on the opposition of what we did here. We release the front side of her shoulder to encourage her shoulder to be able to better move into external rotation, which we saw was very limited. So anytime she needs to go in external rotation, she probably torques at her elbow instead. So here, what we have her doing, we have a lot of cues here. We have a tactile cue of the wall. So she's going to bring her elbow up to shoulder height, apply pressure against that wall, externally rotate, and then press overhead while still pressing back into that wall. And then she's going to bring it down, keep that pressure against the wall, externally rotate to control that position, and come all the way back down. So what we're working on is strengthening the posterior stability of her shoulder joint. And then we're adding in a little bit of recruitment order by forcing her to have to engage that backside to apply pressure to the wall as she presses. So we're trying to give her elbow some support by allowing her shoulder to, one, move, and two, to be strong enough to stabilize in that new position. Bam.
So good. Bam.